So tell me, how do you feel when you see so many lines of if statements? Well, for me, it's really boring to look at. I mean, dude, you see like dozens of if statements and then it looks like spaghetti code to you. So really, I'm like, bruh. But today there's gonna have a fix there. We're gonna study the Python match expression. Alright, let's start. So, like always, we file Python, save it. Let's turn this into match. Yep. Alright, now we're going to start. First, the match expression looks like this. It can be used anywhere. However, it can evaluate both strings, numbers, true, false, and variables. In this case, we're going to use a string. I'm gonna do that. And so how can this work? Well, basically, you can actually replace an if statement with this. For example, I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Hold on. Else dude. But what if we use the match expression? Nope, that won't work. You can try case C not in not in not in So this is the problem with matching. If and else if statements are more widely known, but when you're handling matching, it just feels so useless. You know why? Because because unlike this, which is more readable, you just get this I would say a bit more complex code. Anyway, we're just going to do this. So, for example, what if we're gonna make a variable, day equals 4, and then match day, case 6, and then if the day is 6, it is Saturday, if 7, it is Sunday, else looking forward to the weekend. However, here's the thing. You can't do this. Case not in. This is the problem in match. It can't use not, I think. Let's see. We're just gonna hover over it. Let me see. Not in. Nope, that didn't solve all our problems. Why? Not? No. This is the problem. It won't work. Let's try Alt F1. Okay. This is the problem. Python is very picky about this. The problem, it won't accept the not. This is the this is a big problem with matching. It'd be much more useful to use an if. Anyway, leaving that behind, you can use the underscore as a default value. However, it's best used for the last case because when it's like in the middle or start, it practically stops the entire program. Well, sort of, while executing a value. Watch this. But what if it was this? Now there's a wild card. It's this. This is the wild card. It's only used for the last statement. This is very useful though. For example, it's kind of like an else when it comes to matching. You have a okay, let's represent this. So this is kind of like an this is an if. Yes. Yes. Case. This is an else. It is Thursday. Well, it's Thursday if you put Monday as the start of the week, not Sunday as the end and start of the week. Anyway, let's start. Let's keep going. This is kind of like an if. However, what if we did this in Ulysses? As you can see here, it's gonna take a much longer time. Now we're going to run it. Looking forward to the weekend. Now we're going to combine values. Using the pipe character as an OR operator in the case evaluation it can check for more than one value match in one case, like this. Is it a week? Well, what if I change it to 7? I love weekends. Now we can use if statements as guards. Well, guards. We can add if statements in the case evaluation as an extra condition check. Watch this. So as you can see here, the month is 5, the day is 4, it matches the day, and then it checks these, and then if month is 4, a weekday in April. If month is 5, a weekday in May. And then if there's no matching, no match. Alright, let's try and run it. A weekday in May. What if I tried 4? A weekday in April. Now, here's the thing. What do you think is personally better, if or match? Type in the comments. Anyway, so after that, there's really nothing left. However, there's one trick I'd love to show you. Instead of using that, you could actually just use this. Hold on. Instead of using matching, you can actually just use the dictionary. And dude, it's really, really easy to use the dictionary. It isn't very hard. Instead of just doing a whole line of matching, you could just make one big table for a dictionary. And besides, those key value pairs that I talked about, that we discussed last episode, those are really important. Well, they can also be used on large scale or small scale. However, here's the thing. Even dictionaries have their limits. What if you have like a million lines of code? How can you make even a dictionary out of that? Well, it'd take weeks. Like, I'm not kidding. Or it'd take at least a month if you're like a really fast coder or something. But still, anyway, that's gonna be the end of our video, and then I'll see you in the next episode.